Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Grant. I am 56 years old, and today, August 15th, 2021, I am 233 days sober. Uh, Today's video is about how a person can prepare to quit drinking. I know that some people will quit cold turkey and just, they wake up in the morning and they feel hungover and sick, or maybe not, maybe just fed up and disappointed with themselves, and or their health is not the best, and they know they need to do something about it, so they quit right then and there, and with no preparation at all. I think a lot of us who have drank over the years, though, think about it. We ponder it a lot while we're drinking, and I wanted to shoot a video today about how a person can prepare themselves to quit drinking. That's how I've done it. I'm not sure I've done it cold turkey before, like just um, at a whim, a moment's notice. I think for the handful of times I've quit, I have prepared myself, and I feel that the more that I've quit, the better I'm getting. It's easier to quit, and I'm aware of certain things now that I need to consider before uh, quitting. And fingers crossed, I won't have to go through that again. I just want to keep going as I am. So, okay, number one, um, set a date on when might work best for you. Now, my next points coming up will help you set that date, but I found that picking a date that I was going to quit has helped me. The last two times I've quit, I knew I was going to drink on Christmas Day, but then I told myself that after that, that's it, I quit. And in 2018, Christmas Day, I quit, and I didn't drink again until the beginning of 2020. And then now, this last time, I drank Christmas Day 2020, and then that's been it since. I haven't had a drop since. I find that setting a date really helps. Um, like I said, some of these next points I give you, will help you decide on what that date should be, or what works best for you. Um, this one I don't think is one of those points, but it's a good something to consider. You need to look at your closest friends, the people that you spend your time with, or family, um, and maybe it's time just to help you get through this until you feel confident that you can resist drinking. But maybe it's time to take a break from people. I'm not saying, I know a lot of people say, well, get rid of all your friends that do this or that if you don't want to do that. Well, I'm not saying get rid of them. Although, to be honest, over time, you'll probably find that those relationships are going to fade away anyways, or there will be a lot less connection between you and those people if you carry on with being sober. So consider taking a break from people that you know are going to have expectations of you to drink with them. Okay? You're doing that for yourself. And you don't need to explain yourself to anyone. Just remember that. Any of these points or any time, it's your life, it's your health. You don't need to give explanations or excuses. Next up, identify your triggers. What triggers you to drink? Is it because every Friday night you're invited to go for drinks after work, and then that ends up being a night out, whole night out, and then you're sick the next day, and then Saturday night you repeat that process? For me, it was coping with some moments in my life, like my first marriage, divorce. I had a young daughter, and whenever I would return her back to her mom after the weekend, that set me off. And then after, when my daughter got older and she didn't want to come over anymore, then on the weekends I was binge drinking on the weekends, and I believe that that was one of my bigger triggers. I did have some close friends at the time that it was just about drinking, and those friends I don't have anymore. And now I'm not drinking, and I believe they still are. So you need to find your triggers, and that might not just be so obvious. You might really have to, really think about the moments that you drink, you know, and go through months of drinking and just see what the trigger is. Something next up is you should try and find something to keep you busy or away from those trigger moments. Um, for example, when I would drop my daughter off on a Sunday night, then I would go get some booze. I didn't keep it in the house when she was there, but as soon as she was gone, I'd go get some and I would get drunk that night. And then I had a shitty day the next day at work and I was sick and I was feeling terrible about myself. And, but if I had joined a class, walking in the park or jogging or going and, I don't know, playing backgammon or something, right? On a Sunday night, I would have been able to avoid that. Or whether it's just going and visiting someone who doesn't drink. If it's a Friday night and your trigger is to go drinking after work with your coworkers, you need to stop that until you're able to go with them and just have a pop or a juice or something. But in the meantime, why don't you make arrangements to go visit your grandmother or your parents or your siblings or your friend that doesn't drink? What are they doing on a Friday night after work? Maybe it's time to have a coffee or a tea or, you know, go sit with them and visit. So find things to do that will keep you from that. One thing I started doing too was going to bed earlier at night, about 9:30, because I was finding a lot of times after my wife and my son went to bed, I would sit. That's when, as soon as they went to bed, okay, out comes the whiskey, and I would sit there for a couple hours and have pound back a bunch of whiskeys, and I'm okay now, but now I've just got that habit of going to bed early, and it's great because you need lots of sleep, right? Okay, next up. Okay, this goes back to setting a date. So, in order for you to prepare to quit drinking, if you're planning it, why don't you plan it when there are less expectations on you from yourself, from others to drink? Triggers. A lot of people drink in Januaries because usually, unless you're going somewhere tropical and that's where you'd have your drinks, people don't drink in January, so they have a sober January, dry month that month, and they try to go longer. But I always found that setting or trying to find that time when there wasn't as many triggers and expectations of you. Maybe there's July is coming up and there's a bunch of weddings that you're going to. Maybe you should just try to, if you're really struggling with this, don't go. If you have to drink, try to limit yourself. Do your best to limit yourself. There's a challenge to you. Do that, but plan that on August 1st, whatever day that is of the week, that's the day you're sober, and that's when you start. So start when there's less expectation, and that's how you can set a date. Next up, one I haven't done, but excuse me, my wife drinks still, but I've been able to stay sober, which is pretty good. Is clear your home of alcohol. If you're having that much trouble and there's nobody in your home that else that wants it, or ask them if they would be considerate enough just to only have alcohol in the house when they're going to have a drink or two. I've never asked my wife to do that because she drinks drinks that I would never drink anyways. They're like those fruity, ready to drink drinks. I don't like that stuff. I like, just straight beer. I don't like flavored beer or whatever. Or whiskey. I don't want apple flavored whiskey. I just want straight whiskey. So that was easy for me to have it in the home. Lastly, this one has helped me a lot, is I don't tell anyone for the most part when I'm quitting or not drinking. Um, it's easier for me because my social circle has gone from a big circle like this to just this tiny little thing now, which is almost non-existent. But that's my choice. I'm okay with it. I'm an introvert. I don't need a bunch of people in my life. I like people, but um, don't tell anyone. There's just less pressure on you if you don't go around telling people that you're quitting drinking or you quit drinking. Right away, we go and we're going to tell people, and we could, because we need the support, and we want to hear what other people think. And um, I used to do that, and I know that it annoys people after a while because people that need help can't stop, right? We just keep on and on. But I think that if you're able to just keep it to yourself, that you're going to stop drinking, let's say it's September 1st, 2021. Don't tell anyone that's your plan. And then you can just keep planning in your head what you're going to do, how you're going to go about it, you know, how are you going to avoid the trigger moments. There's just less pressure on you. And then if you do happen to go somewhere and you're not drinking, lie. Have a glass. If you normally drink a spirit like a whiskey or a rum, have a glass of pop with ice and a straw or whatever, and don't go up to the bar to get it. Don't tell anyone. You can even buy someone their beer or whatever, but then you get yourself a pop. Nobody needs to know. It's nobody's business. It's your life. Just less pressure. I used to do that. Um, it just makes it easier on you, and you're gonna feel great if you can do that. And just think, in a year from now, if you're not drinking, and then all of a sudden someone says, "Hey, you want to drink?" No, actually, I don't drink anymore. They say, "What do you mean?" Well, I haven't drank for about a year now. And just think of how shocked and probably impressed a lot of people are going to be when you do that, and how good you're going to feel, how confident you're going to feel. That's going to keep you going. Um, so you don't owe anyone anything other than yourself, and of course your family, but you don't owe them to explain to them why you're not drinking. That's just my opinion, my thoughts. um, so there you have it. That's my thoughts on how you can prepare to quit drinking alcohol. If you have any other tips on how a person can prepare if they're not just doing it on a whim, I'd love to hear them. Please put them in the comments. Um, that's it for today. I will be back again next Sunday. Everybody have a great week ahead, and see ya.